السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد. أهلا وسهلا ومرحبا بكم. I welcome my dear brothers and sisters in Islam to the continuation of our explanation of the book Bulugh al-Maraam min Adillat al-Ahkam, authored by the great scholar of Islam, the great muhaddith of Islam, Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani rahimahullah. The author states, Kitab al-Buyu', the chapter of business transactions. Take note, Ya Abdullah, Ya Amatallah, that the scholars of Al-Islam, the fuqaha of Al-Islam, muhaddithin of Al-Islam, rahimahumullah, that they usually begin their books with ibadat, the chapters of ibadat, salah, zakah, hajj, siyam, etc. Then they move on to mu'amalat, the matters of business transaction. Because once I've sorted out my ibadat, once I've sorted out my matters of deen, then what about my dunya? How do I satisfy my belly? How do I satisfy my hunger? What do I do? How do I earn a living, etc.? They discuss the matters of mu'amalat. After this, they move on to the matters of munakahat, the matters of marriage. Once my stomach has been satisfied, then the matters of the private organs, the matters of nikah, etc. And then lastly, they discuss the matters of jinayat, legal retribution, the chapter of penalties, the chapter of punishments. So this has been and has always been the methodology of the fuqaha of al-Islam, walhamdulillah. So the author states Kitab al-Buyu', and Buyu' is the plural of the word Bay', Bay' which means a business transaction. The author mentions Buyu', why? Because within this book we have various types of transactions. We have a qard transaction, which is a loan transaction. We have the Bay' transaction. We have Salam transaction. We have Bay' at-Taqsit, installment transaction. Various transactions. That's why he states Kitab al-Buyu'. Ya Abdullah, Ya Amatallah, before getting deep into the various ahadith, etc., we need to remind ourselves that the basic rule with regards to buyu' is that everything is permissible until proven otherwise. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala states in the noble Quran, أَحَلَّ اللَّهُ الْبَيْعَ وَحَرَّمَ الرِّبَى. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has permitted business transactions and made impermissible the matter of riba. Surah Baqarah, verse number 275. And Ya Abdullah, Ya Amatallah, the benefit of this is that the one who says that this transaction is haram, the one who says that this mu'amala is impermissible, the onus of proof is upon him to show that it is not permissible. He needs to prove that this, for example, has riba in it. He needs to prove, for example, that this is oppression, this is zulm. He needs to prove, for example, that this has high levels of gharar, uncertainty, etc. Ya Abdullah, Ya Amatallah, what is the definition of Bay'? Bay', according to many scholars, is mu'awadatu mal bimal. It is the exchange of wealth for wealth. So it's not sadaqah, where I give and there's no exchange. It's not a loan where I lend to you and you need to give back to me. It's not a hiba, a gift, etc. Rather, it is the exchange of wealth for wealth. Ya Abdullah, Ya Amatallah, in our explanation of Umdatul Fiqh, in the first lesson in the chapter of business transactions, we went through various masail in a very beautiful, walhamdulillah, introduction. Ya Abdullah, Ya Amatallah, extremely relevant and important that every single student revises that lesson. We discussed from amongst masail the matter of ownership of any object. You need to be the owner of this for you to sell it. More than just being an owner. Number two, the higher level is you need to also have possession of the item. You need to be the owner. Number two, you need to have possession of the item. Or you need to be the agent. You need to be ma'dhoon with regards to the sale of that object. Or we also discussed the matter of Bay' al-Fuduli. You sold something on behalf of someone else. The person didn't know. This business transaction was suspended upon the permission of Sulaiman. Because you know Sulaiman wants to sell his car. You sold his car on his behalf. He doesn't even know about the matter. But when Sulaiman comes along, if he allows it and gives permission, then it would be permissible. We also discussed that that which you are selling must have permissible benefit in it, not allowed to sell pornography, alcohol, etc. We discussed the sale, for example, the dog. We also said that selling the dog is impermissible according to majority of the scholars, but benefiting from the dog, having a guide dog, a guard dog, etc. is allowed. The realm of benefit is wider than the realm of sale. You might not be allowed to sell something, but you're allowed to benefit from it. For example, you're not allowed to sell organs, you're not allowed to sell blood. But for example, can you have an organ transplant done to yourself? Can you have, undergo a blood transfusion and get blood from someone else due to the need? The answer is yes. The realm of benefit wider than the realm of sale. You're not allowed to sell, for example, fish in the ocean, bird in the sky, etc. We discussed those matters in great detail. We also discussed that. We also discussed the matter that when it comes to the divisions of sale, we have naqd bi'arad, where I sell you a book for $2. We also have a type of transaction where it's arad bi'arad. You give me the book, you sell me the book, and I give you a pen. And lastly, we have naqd bi-naqd, exchange of currency for currency, gold for silver, or for example, dollars for rands. So these are three types in that division. We also have sale transactions where, for example, it is something which is now a transaction which I sell you the book now and you pay me the money right now. Another example would be I sell you the book, you pay me up later. Another one would be that you pay up now and I give you the book later. The last one would be mu'ajjal for mu'ajjal, that I sell you this book for £5. You pay me in a year's time and I give you the book in a year's time. We said that in this division we have a lot of discussion. Many a scholar discusses this mas'ala when it comes to the issue of a debt for a debt. There are some scenarios which are allowed and there are some scenarios which are not allowed. Jayyid. With regards to the conditions of a business transaction, we also discussed this. We said that there must be consent from both parties. Both of them must be allowed. You don't transact buying a house from a baby, etc. Both of them must be jaiz at-tasarruf. They must be allowed, capable, etc. to transact. Every single one of them. They must be the owner, Malik or man yaqum maqamahu, must be the owner of the object or must have been given permission, etc. The sale object must be something which is permissible to transact in. Also, you must have the ability to deliver upon the item. Selling a bird in the sky, selling a slave which has run away, escaped, selling a horse which you've lost, etc. not permissible. يكون البيع معلوما عند البائع والمشتري, that the object must be known by both parties. I'm selling you a house. What house? What type of house? I'm selling you a car. It must be known by both parties to avoid dispute. And lastly, that it must be known by the object of sale. Also, the amount which is being paid for it must be known by the purchaser and by the seller. We also said with regards to mu'amalat, subhanallah, you have business transactions being born every single day, different types of transactions, different types of loopholes, etc. That's why the research documents of the Islamic Fiqh Academy based in Jeddah, the one based in Mecca, the research documents of the various Islamic banks around the world, the research documents put together by students in their masters and in their doctorates, thesis and dissertations, very, very important. Ya Abdullah, Ya Amatallah, other masail that we've already discussed in our explanation of Umdatul Fiqh, that uncertainty, high levels of uncertainty, jahala, you don't know what you are transacting in, not permissible. We also discussed the matter of the types of transactions that they used to deal with in the days of Jahiliyyah, mulamasa, where, for example, you're not allowed to look at what you are buying. Close your eyes, whatever your hand goes on, touches, then that's what you buy. the matter of munabada. I throw something to you, you throw something to me. There's no khiyar majlis, there's no option for us to nullify the contract there in that majlis. The sale is done as soon as you catch, as soon as I catch, etc. Not permissible. You're not allowed to look at the object, etc. Bay al-hasa. I throw the stone wherever it lands. That land from here to that point is for you for $20. So we transact $20, etc., $5,000, whatever it might be. Then you throw the stone. You could throw it 10 meters. You could be a master and throw it 20 meters, 50 meters. We don't know. Jahala, high levels of jahala. We also discussed the matter of najash, where, for example, in an auction, you inflate the price because you want to harm others. Or, for example, you inflate the price because you don't want anyone to purchase this object. You want to harm the person who's selling it. Allah musta'an. Making a sale upon the sale of your brother. Buying upon the sale of your brother. Not permissible. Just like how making a proposal upon the proposal of your brother. Not permissible. We also discussed bay'atain fi bay'a. 2 transactions in one. We said that there's various types. For example, where it is that I sell you something in a ina transaction, you need cash, and so we make up this loophole transaction called the ina transaction. That is not allowed. Where, for example, I sell you this remote, it is for £1,000 now, or for £10,000 over a year, and we part. We say deal done, but we don't know which transaction, which option you've taken. That's not permissible. As for if you chose A or you chose B, then that is fine. But there's various types of tafsir for these 2 transactions in one. This one that we just gave the example of with regards to the remote, that is one type which is not permissible. Another type of 2 contracts in one which is not permissible is the ina transaction, which we will discuss later on. As for, I will sell you this car if you sell me your house. I will sell you this remote if you sell me your car. Then that is permissible, no issue in that, insha'Allah, according to the correct opinion, stronger opinion. So these are some of the masail, ya Abdullah, ya Amatallah, that we've discussed in Umdatul Fiqh. Also the matter of the one who dealt with the haram and he's made millions in haram. How does he get rid of all of this wealth? What does he do? How does he purify it, etc.? We said that we have 2 types of haram, where the person transacts in haram objects. Jayid, for example, this person deals in riba, the person sells alcohol, etc. And the other type of haram where this doesn't belong to you in the first place, where it is through a sariqa, it is through stealing, it is through fraud, you've taken the wealth of another. In that one, fraud, taking the wealth of another, you robbed, you hijacked. Here you make tawbah and you need to get rid of that wealth because it doesn't belong to you at all. It can change hands 1,000,000 times, it does not belong to you. As for which is haram due to the means of income, due to the way that you earn the wealth, for example, the female, the prostitute, for example, the one who sold alcohol, the one who dealt with riba, etc., then here the scholars divide the mas'ala into, once you've made tawbah, whatever you already have in your possession, then insha'Allah you can keep all of that. Tawbah wipes away whatever happened. Whatever is still outstanding to you, whatever riba is still to come to you, whatever this prostitute, for example, whatever money someone owes her, she cannot accept all of that. So whatever you already have in your possession, you can keep that, and tawbah wipes away whatever wrong happened in the past, insha'Allah. And this is a means to encourage people to make tawbah. Because the person would say, I have 1 billion. Now, if you ask me to get rid of this and make toilets and build toilets, etc., I'm going to be a pauper. I'll take my chance with Allah, and the man might not make tawbah. So we encourage them, make tawbah and do not ever fall into that sin of riba or whatever again.